Some insanely sad news out there in the Valorant scene, guys. A tragic day for Valorant esports, as there's going to be more stories coming from this sometime in the near future, as Riot Games announced for Valorant VCT that the Guard, after qualifying through Challengers, winning the entire Challengers League last year, would no longer be promoted and partake in VCT. VCT would also remain as only 10 teams, as according to Riot Games, it was the Guard who did not actually agree with the participation agreement for teams in the VCT, a statement that was responded to by a lot of questions, a lot of mystery, and a lot of people saying, what the heck is actually going on? Because none of this makes any sense. In case you guys are not aware, we had VCT Challengers last year. It was pretty cool to see several teams throwing out likely hundreds of thousands of dollars to field the roster, and the only way to be promoted and make VCT the upper league of Valorant, and of course a potential chance at a stipend and some bundle money, which could be really good for your organization and at least the first sign of money you might see in Valorant. Well, after winning the entire thing, and that's the only way you can actually see success in Challengers, is winning the entire thing, beating out every other team, which the Guard did. Well, after supposedly being promoted, they didn't accept the agreement, and now they're not being promoted. Better yet, Riot said it's still going to remain as 10 teams, which means the second place team, which the Guard beat in M80, are also not being promoted. Again, a lot of people had a lot of questions, but guess what, guys? It gets even better. The players found out this announcement when it was announced on Twitter. As Jonah tweeted, "What did I just wake up to? There's no effing way." In response to someone else, he said they did not know anything until all of this was tweeted this morning. And then you had Net saying, "I am devastated. All the hard work and sacrifices we went through as a team just have it stripped away from us through Twitter. At the end of the day, some things in life are truly out of your control and it is unfair, but to be punished for putting my heart and soul into the thing I love truly effing hurts. I want nothing but to win a world championship with my brothers. Thank you everyone for always supporting us, and thank you especially to my literal second family. I know I wouldn't be the player I am without you guys. I really hope Riot reconsiders and gives us the chance to play together one more time. Please, Riot, understand that it's more than just a game for us, but it's truly our entire life." And people really confused as to why Riot would then say, okay, if Guard did not accept the agreement, that means no other team can be promoted. Keep in mind, M80 has also dropped their Valorant roster. That might be the reason. People also making speculation that apparently the players themselves individually cannot be given that spot due to some legality reasons. Also might just be quite the complicated process. If you have 5 players plus a coach somehow getting a spot, what happens if they split ways or have disagreements? And of course, when it comes to the funds and then the stipend, it has to be a very, very complicated matter that I don't know too much information on. But how can no team then be promoted? And what was the point of Challengers last year? It was a year of waste for all the teams out there. It's very unfortunate circumstances, but also the giant lingering question, why would the Guard not agree to the agreement? Was the agreement just that bad? It didn't make any financial sense for them to take it, which is hard to believe with how financially offering, or it seems offering, the VCT can be, especially with the champion bundles, giving 50% of skins, of course, to the champs teams, and of course the stipend along with it. It seems like a pretty good league to be in. And so the question being, why would the Guard say no? Like, what is not being told to all of us? We also had people like Toast and Ludwig giving their responses. Toast just straight up saying, I will pay these guys salaries and their franchise fees if they get a partake in the VCT. Saying, I might be broke, but I'd sign these players if it means them getting to play in franchising and keep the spot they earned. And then Ludwig saying, seriously reconsider. Let the players keep the slot and allow someone to buy their contract plus franchise fees, or let M80 go as runner-up. Make the last year of my life not a waste. And it's really not a good look for the Guard, because as it stands currently with what we know, we await their statement and what they are going to say about the Riot team's participation agreement and why they were to say no, if that will be communicated, because as it stands right now, communication is the last thing that the Guard has ever had. They have become known as the esports team backed by billionaire Stan Kroenke that made a big splash in the scene and a really well-liked brand, especially with what they did in the Valorant space. Then they go to not communicating at all, and without any communication, laying off nearly every single one of their employees. That is what they became known for. And then you come to this, which as it stands, we await for more information. It looks like they didn't communicate. I mean, it's confirmed. They didn't communicate any of this to their players and just said, hey, by the way, yeah, we're not going to be going into franchising because we didn't agree with the agreement. And now our team that won Challengers is going to have to split up. Yes, they'll likely find jobs, but even then, if you're an existing VCT team player, you're like, yo, I mean, that's just 5 less jobs for all of us, because we were supposed to have an 11th team in here with 5 more jobs. That just means those Guard players are taking jobs of existing VCT team players. It's like, It was already cutthroat as it is with 10 teams, and now it's still 10 teams with 5 better players more available to take more jobs. It goes both ways. Obviously, you hope the guard players can find their footing and find a team to play in, but whose jobs are they taking away from the league throughout all of this? And why would the guards say no? It just isn't adding up at all. And above all of this, why would Riot find it okay to not add an 11th team somehow, some way? We don't know how complicated those matters are. I have to believe Riot is going to respond to this backlash and fix the system somehow. But how? How do they fix this in an utterly terrible situation, especially for the players and staff on the guard? You feel the most for them because they don't make these decisions. It's the ownership behind them, and why they're making those decisions we'll hopefully know more about soon. Till next time, take care, drink water and coffee. We'll see you back here soon.